What's up everyone? Bill Lethman here for Money Evolution, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 smart money moves to make in your 20s. So this video today is primarily intended for any of you that maybe are recent college graduates, or those of you that are just starting your career, starting to get some of those first big paychecks maybe for the first time in your life. And what I want to talk about today are some strategies and a couple of ideas that can not only help you make your 20s financially successful, but also set the stage so that your 30s, your 40s, and beyond are also going to be good from a financial standpoint. So let's dive right in. So number one on the list is to take your debt seriously. So according to Forbes here, the class of 2016 is now graduating with a little bit over $37,000 in student loan debt, according to the averages there. Now yours might be higher than that, it may be lower than that. You may have credit card debt in addition to that student loan debt, or maybe instead of that student loan debt, but whatever level of debt you have, you want to take that seriously and really kind of allocate your resources to paying that debt off before you start deciding how you're going to spend maybe the rest of that paycheck there. So let me give you an example of this. So let's say that you have $30,000 in student loan debt and it's at a 6% interest rate, and you've agreed to pay that back over a 10-year time period. So that means your minimum monthly payment, if you just stick on that 10-year plan, is going to be $333 per month. But let's say that you started allocating a little bit more to paying that off quicker. If you just took $100 extra and applied it to that loan, that's going to knock it down from a 10-year period down to 7.1 years. So about 3 years faster almost, just by paying $100 extra towards that loan. And if you could allocate $200 per month extra for that loan, it's going to pay it off in about 5.5 years. So almost half the time that it would take originally, just by making a little bit of extra principal payments towards that. Number two is buying too expensive of a car. So I see this all the time. You're maybe in college, maybe you don't have a car, or maybe you have a beater car, and the first thing you want to do is, turn in that old beater and you want to go and get that car that you've always dreamed about or wanted, And so you go into the showroom, you've got your paycheck there and everything, and how much car can I afford? And of course the car salesman's going to sell you as expensive of a car as you're going to qualify for, from a loan standpoint. But what I like to do is keep your car expenses to ideally 10 to 15% of your gross monthly income, and no more than 20% if you were splurging. And I wouldn't even go that high unless you've already solved for number one, unless you've already paid off that debt, you don't have any other debt. You could maybe go a little bit more expensive on the car, but especially if you're trying to pay that debt off, keeping that car expense low is going to really help you do that there. So just as an example here, so let's say that you have $4,000 a month gross income there, then 10% of that obviously is that you shouldn't spend more than $400 total on your total car expenses. So that includes the payment, and it includes the insurance, and it also includes the fuel for the car. So that might be a little tough to do, in that case. So you might go up to 15%. In that case, you'd be at $600. So that could allow you to have, let's say, a $200 or $300 payment, and still give yourself maybe $100 each for car insurance and car fuel. So you want to keep that, again, to 10 or 15% of your gross monthly income there, ideally, especially if you're trying to pay off some of that debt. Number three is start saving right away. And if you work for a company that offers, let's say, a 401k plan as an example, that allows you to have money deducted right from your paycheck, goes right into a retirement account. And you might think, hey, I'm in my 20s. Retirement is like a million years away. Why do I need to start saving money for retirement? Well, what you save in your 20s can almost have the biggest impact overall on your total retirement, because of the power of compounding and the number of years that you have from now until the time that you're ready for retirement. So consider this. Let's say that you make $40,000 a year and you're going to save 10% towards your 401k. So $4,000 a year. And let's say you're 22 years old and you do that for the next 8 years until you're 30 years old. So that $4,000 annual contribution, if it could earn 7% interest, would be worth $41,000, $41,039 by the time you're 30. So pretty decent amount of money. But here's where it gets even more interesting there. So let's say that you didn't contribute any more money towards your retirement. Now, I don't advise this, but let's say that you just stopped and that was the only money that you ever saved for retirement. That $41,000 would continue to grow at 7% interest if you could get that rate. And by the time you're 65 years old, so another 35 years, would be worth $438,158. And that's the power of compounding and having some of that savings early on as you're putting money away for your retirement. Number 4 on the list is to buy healthcare insurance. So this may be something, especially I know for a lot of guys, you consider yourself to be very healthy and hey, I don't go to the doctor. I don't need to go to the doctor. So what do I need to buy health insurance for? Well, first of all, it's pretty darn cheap. And if you do have something, you do have, God forbid, let's say you break a leg, you have to go to the emergency room, then you need surgery and everything, that could be tens of thousands of dollars of medical expenses, and that could all have been avoided, or a lot of that could have been avoided just by buying that health insurance plan. So don't ignore that. If you're under 26 or 26 or under, you can still stay on your parents' plan if they have that, if they have that option. Or you might have that through your new employer to go out and buy your own health insurance. And fortunately now they do have the Affordable Care Act, so you can go out into the exchanges and buy the health insurance that way. So they've got 3 different options there. Stay on your parents' plan, go to the employer that you're working for right now, or the Affordable Care Act, and you can kind of shop it around and find what you think is going to be the best deal for you. But don't ignore health insurance. That could be a really big deal. Number 5 is you want to continue to build your credit. So hopefully you didn't make too many mistakes while you were in school and maybe had some late payments and everything, but you really want to focus now on building up that credit. That's why, if you do have a loan or a lease, and you make those payments on a timely fashion every single month, that's going to be something that's going to help you build up that credit score a little bit, that you're showing yourself to be responsible, that you can make those payments on time. And it's going to help set you up, because eventually someday you're going to want to maybe buy a house, or you're going to get other loans, and it can also affect your car insurance. So your credit score really goes into a big part of what some of your expenses are from a financial standpoint. And then I'm going to give you a 6th one, kind of a bonus one, is start saving money for a down payment. So you don't want to live with your parents forever, and so you want to start putting some money aside and build up that down payment. We're going to talk about that in some other videos where I talk about smart home buying purchases and how to make that a better experience there for you. But start saving up some money for a down payment. Ideally, you want to have 20% down for whatever price house you're gonna buy. So if you're gonna buy a $100,000 house, you got to have at least $20,000 to put down as your down payment when you go to purchase that. So anyway, there you have it. 5 plus a bonus moves that you can make in your 20s from a financial standpoint. So hope you liked the video here today. Hope you got some great information. Hit that like or subscribe button, and I'll see you back here in one of my next videos. Thanks. Have a great day.